a podcast for dads who love music, made by dads who love music. And now, your hosts, Josh and Joe.
Hello, and welcome to Dad Rocks, the podcast about being a dad and loving music and how the two intersect in our lives. I'm Josh, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe.
What's going on, Josh?
And our producer, Steve.
Hey, guys.
Today's episode is going to be the start of what we hope is a positive change to the format of the podcast, in that it's just going to be the three of us talking, kind of like it was in the beginning, but we're going to just talk. And we're still going to do interviews, but they're going to be separate episodes. And actually, we do have an interview in the can already, and we're going to hope to have it out soon. Do you guys want me to say who it is? I don't.
Sure,
okay.
Let's spill the beans.
So we have another big guest coming up, and that is rock writer and critic Steven Hyden, who you may have seen in the recent Woodstock 99 documentary. He was amazing, and we can't wait to share our conversation with him with you.
It went deep.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. I was very pumped to talk to him.
And he was so knowledgeable and quick. Like, he just went to whatever direction we went, which was really cool, I thought.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where we could have sat and talked to him for several hours. I don't think any of us would have been bored, and I don't think he would have minded either. So anyway, let's do our check-in and talk about our fatherly lives. I know for me, it was a very eventful end to the summer. The end of the summer, I think for all three of us, was kind of nuts. I think for everyone, the big thing that happened in New Jersey is we got hit by Hurricane Ida. And I know for me, I was very thankful that my house didn't get much damage at all or anything really. But I know you guys had some stuff that went on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's in Montclair got really hammered. I know, but my house in Bergen County here got water in the basement for the first time, really gushing in. I've never really experienced that, and I was not prepared at all. So that was fun. That was I was actually on a work a nighttime work meeting at the time, and I literally had to just jump off because the basement was filling up. It was in our laundry room. It was definitely an eye-opening experience because now we know some things that we definitely need to buy, some repairs to the house, like patching up cracks on the outside, maybe putting in a sump pump, which is the word everyone's talking about the last since. Hey, do you have a pump?
Yeah.
Do you have a sump pump? How many do you have? Where's the water going? So it's a lot of water talk in our New Jersey area, like water flow.
Yeah.
Or portable generators, stuff like that.
Portable generators, power issues. When this was all happening, as one teenager, preteen would do, he took a video of me literally squatting, in the laundry room. It was so embarrassing with we just grabbed whatever thing we could to get water up. So we had red plastic cups, and we literally were using a
bowls and stuff,
a broom pickup. The
dustpan.
A dustpan. Because it was helping. So he took a quick video.
What? Instagram Live?
No, well, he sent it to a group chat that he was talking to. So he's kind of coming down, and I got to say the kids did help. It was a nice all hands on deck experience. They were helped. They saw it,
good.
The seriousness of what was happening.
Yeah.
And so he's like, my other friends' basements are getting water. So, he's chatting with them. And then he's like, my friend's dad has one of those machines you need, right?
What?
The shop vac. I was like, yeah, I actually do need that.
Yes.
I'm kind of in the middle. I was like, I don't know. I mean, we know the guy, the dad, but it was pouring rain. I mean, it was crazy rain. And then he's like, he's coming.
Non-stop rain.
He lives a few blocks down. I'm like, really? Great. But I can't believe he's actually coming. It was torrential downpour.
Yeah.
And so he came, dropped it off. He's like, don't worry about it. Let me know if it works. And it did. It was a lifesaver. Even with that, I had to dump out, 20 of those things. My back was killing.
It sucks because you got to carry all that stuff up, and it's and then you're right out the door, and then it spills all over the place, and you're like, I got to clean up all this. And
we have a sink next to
we got the slop sink.
We have the slop sink, thank God. Later, Julian's like, see, I saved the day. I'm like, yeah, you kind of did because you sent off that picture.
But yeah, and I know, Steve, you had a very traumatic experience.
Yeah. Well, it's weird is that I've always noticed in like, especially these last couple of years, as we've gotten these like insanely rainy summers, this riverlet that's called, I guess, Tony's Brook, apparently.
Is that the one at the bottom of Claremont, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it kind of meanders through the city. And I've seen it high. I've seen it where I'm like, holy shit, like that's dangerous. It's pretty fast moving. But it never went and breached its walls. And then this was the day, because we had, you know, the other, who was the other hurricane that
Henri.
gave us Henri.
Yeah.
So we already super saturated. The river of that was probably already, you know, higher than normal. It overflowed its banks. It was running down our street. And luckily it didn't really encroach onto our property too much, but it was just enough, I think, also with the backyard kind of combo. We got some flooding in the basement. Our first floor neighbor had like a lot of stuff that was like their storage there. We had, you know, some odds and ends. Luckily, you know, like we've been blessed that it wasn't like too much loss, but it was just crazy to see. Some cars were definitely, like one definitely was towed off. One was underwater in the intersection, and you could see people like now. It's like I walked the length of part of this riverlet just to see like the destruction. I took some photos, and you see just bags of trash and, you know, other stuff like that. So Montclair has apparently been like declared in the FEMA disaster list. So there's some businesses that need your, you know, any support. If you are a Montclair fan, just come and buy some food or support some business people or.
Well,
you know,
it's just crazy. Like just in general, like some of the towns in Essex County, like, you know,
my God,
you're like, you just, oh, they're in the hills. Like Little Falls always floods and stuff, but you don't think about Montclair being a flood zone. Like when I was looking at,
good point.
When we were
very good point.
When my wife and I were daydreaming about buying a house in Montclair years ago, we put a bid on a house that was at the bottom of that hill near the brook. And my realtor's like, really, you know, think about this first because you're going to have to pay like $10,000 a year in flood insurance or something like that.
Yeah.
And and so we put the bid on. We didn't get the house, obviously, but I can just imagine what that house, you know, must have went through recently. And then you see stuff from like Milburn, Summit, and or was it Newark? Yeah, Newark was hit. Bonkers, Belleville, you know, down by Bound Brook in Manville, like just these places that, you know, I remember seeing this type of rain when I guess the Mississippi when like 94 or something flooded and like it was that kind of water. Looking at places that I know personally, you know, going through that and like seeing like rapids just going through downtown Milburn was just like what? And so I'm very thankful for where I live. Like, you know, again, I'm thankful that my mom's house is on a hill, though the brook near her house, which is a few houses down, overflowed, and one of her like down the street neighbors had their whole basement flooded. It's just crazy, and it's just, I guess, the new reality we have to live in, which it sucks. But that was an insane way to pretty much end. Oh, I guess it was right after Labor Day, but it was
summer.
Yeah, exactly.
But right after that, thankfully, we had a fantasy football draft that all three of us were involved in. Unfortunately, Steve, you weren't present. But and I don't know. My season's looking terrible already. I mean,
Mike Evans got basically shut out, so that's good. Feeling
my
good.
boy Dak came up big last year.
Huge. Cowboys.
It was only one game in, and I'm already like, I mean, I won the league a couple of times. I won it last year, but it's just like. I mean, Antonio Brown just went off. Then again, I do have Devontae Adams, so he might go off this weekend too.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
It'll be interesting to see how the first week plays out. People are probably super antsy to get on the field and play in front of fans again, man. I mean, that's going to be a thing. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, we're planning to go to I think week 4 of the Jets Titans.
Ooh, nice.
It's like October 3rd. So it's a big group that we've gone with before for about 3-4 years. It's like a huge group of like 30 people. They do a big tailgate and everything. So they say, yeah, we got extra tickets if you want them. It's very, they're expensive. But,
I'm sure. Zach Wilson.
It's fun for like once a year, you know, and it has to be early in the season. I mean, literally within like the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's like, forget it after that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, I haven't
I'll report back.
I've never been to a pro regular season football game.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I've been to like 100.
I mean, it's just, you know, growing up, like I watched football. My dad watched football.
Wow, you never been to
and
one.
And we had family friends who had season tickets to the Giants. It's just, I don't know.
It's fun.
I went to a bunch of preseason games.
It's such a cool experience when it's a team.
Especially when it's like a big game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to like tons of college football
Yeah,
games.
sure.
So you know that energy, yeah.
Yeah. Which actually can be even crazier. Like, I've been at Doak Campbell Stadium down at Florida State playing with the Maryland Marching Band. We've traveled all over the place, but it's like, I don't know. I've just never, it seems like a fun time. It also seems just like one of those where you have to just be like, it's a total, your day is gone. Like,
your day is
This
gone.
is your day. And, you know,
I
don't know.
my parents had season tickets to the Jets for 20 years.
Yeah,
it was
grew
our
up with
tradition of doing, me and my mom would say a lot, like,
My dad had Browns tickets too.
we didn't do
Season
hikes.
tickets.
We weren't like, Josh, like mainly your family were like the complete opposite. Like we did not do any outdoor like nature things, but tailgating at the Jet games became like a thing that we did, 8 times a year. We had another family in town with a son that was my age. And then every year, you grow up with it. And, we actually went through some good years, the Parcells years and all that. So it was, it was fun. It wasn't all down.
Do you hope to get Jets season tickets again and make it a family thing? Or you just kind of
No, mainly it was not that much.
Julian's not as
money.
into it either, right?
Yeah.
He's into football, which we'll get in. Yeah, he's into football. We actually did our own fantasy draft 2 days after our draft with him and his friends and his cousins.
Which league do you have a better team?
I think in our league. Yeah.
Nice.
I got the A grade in our league. Very proud.
I know,
we'll see
right?
how that pans out. But no, I remember in the 90s, it was only $20 or $25 a ticket. They had 4 tickets. So, $100, 8 times a year. It wasn't that much of an investment. Now it's about $130 a ticket.
Jesus.
Plus there was PSL fees when MetLife came in. There was a lot of factors. And I didn't have kids. And that's when Julian was born. We ended like 2 years after that. It was already starting to get like a little harder. I'm still really into it. I don't know if I'd want to go every week. That's the thing. You kind of want to go to like 3 games. It's like 7 or 8 is a lot of games. So
it is, yeah.
We've brought Julian to a bunch of games. We'll probably bring him this time too. Even though he's not a Jets fan, he's gone against the family wishes.
Well, at least the Giants are terrible now. So
He's a Giants fan. Yeah. But he kind of brags. He kind of throws it in, my face about it. I go, dude, the Giants suck too. I mean, we won he brings up Super Bowl. Okay, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
That's
right. Can't be living off that.
Just earlier, he had to bring up, I walked downstairs. He's like, look, he brought up the damn, helmet catch highlight. He had it like queued up as I'm like, I don't want to see this. This is the moment I don't want to see.
I know.
Well, it's better than the butt fumble. That's better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the reason I was asking is because it's interesting. I think about this a lot. Is that when you're brought up on certain traditions and stuff, and then for me, it's like, oh, I'd love to replicate that, and then you realize how hard it is sometimes to replicate what you were brought up with because A, it's either just not your life, or B, it's just you can't do it for whatever different reason, and it's interesting because I was brought up, like you said, I brought up going out in nature, doing camping. I mean, we still go on hikes, but I really don't have any urge to go camping every season like my parents did.
Yeah,
and it was fun. It's just maybe when David grows up, he'll become a living out in the woods in a log cabin or something like that,
or a kayaker or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm sure he'll be into nature and stuff. So but it was a lot. I realized how much my parents, especially bought. I mean, we would have like a whole tailgate, just the food alone those Sundays. They did I didn't do it. I just woke up and like, oh, are you ready? Like put my jersey on. They packed the car. They would make like multiple like food shopping. They were always very like, they wanted everything to be right, so they wanted the right sandwiches and the right snacks and the, drinks. I'm sure you've seen like the tailgates. I mean, some of the tailgates are
they're insane. It's
it's a whole party. Now tailgates have DJs and stuff. You have to pay a ticket to get into
crazy
that tailgate.
And
there's a whole thing going on. So obviously we didn't do that, but just what we did was a lot, to plan everything. And so,
well, it becomes a tradition. It becomes part of your life, and it's just, it becomes a hobby, and it's just been, some people may think that it's crazy that I have 3 drum sets my wife thinks it's crazy to have 3 drum sets, but like that's
as any wife would, yes.
Yeah. But that's what I love, to do. And so I do it. It's like, and so people, they work their tail off to be able to go to these games and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I think it's just a waste of money. I mean, do it once a season.
Yeah,
great.
once.
And then,
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't know. Like, I'd like to, you get a better seat at home sitting in front of your TV.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, in the 1993 or something, it was a different world. We didn't have the big TVs. It wasn't HD. Things weren't even in HD at that point, I guess.
True.
No, I mean, phones. You had to, our TVs would look like you couldn't believe them. Like our monitors on our computers are bigger than the TVs that we had at the house.
Yep.
Obviously, we're getting into that mode of the last time that we were talking, we thought the world was opening up and things were happening, and we were all getting ready to go to concerts. And I actually have 2 concerts teed up, but I know you guys have gone to at least one show, right?
We did. Yep.
We did. Yeah.
Amazing show.
Parquet Courts, Jersey City.
Just a powerhouse of a show. Fans were amazing.
Now, it was inside. That was the first show I went to. Went to inside, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's funny because I went to the Foo Fighters show. I think I talked about it.
You
on
probably
the pod.
did.
I must have.
Yeah.
And that was the big. We're back. We're gonna have just show your Vax card, and so nobody wore masks because we're like, we just showed the Vax card. We're
back.
good.
We're back and good.
Grohl was out there. We're back.
It was June.
June. Yeah.
Because I had played a wedding like a couple weeks before, and it's like the numbers were so low,
So
especially
low.
in New York.
Yep. But the energy was cool. Like even for the masked audience, like everyone was like really rowdy and dancing and singing along, and people were freaking out at the songs that they knew, and the new songs, I thought they were rocking like really.
Yeah, they debuted 5 new songs. It was their first show in 2 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know most of their catalog. I don't know all of it. So when they were playing some of the new songs, I didn't know they were new. I just thought there was older songs. And then later we saw like, that was new. Cool.
Yeah.
They have a new album coming out, I think in October.
Sympathy for Life.
I think that's what it's called. But it was a cool show. But you have to have the mask on, or you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard for the whole show. I mean, I did pull it down here and there. I was, drinking a beer or something.
How was it compliance wise? Because I mean, we're all going to be going to see Neil Francis.
Yeah.
That's the one, like we're going on vax, everyone has to be vaccinated at this show. And they say, we suggest people wearing masks, but part of me is like, what I see at school is like people, if they don't have to, they're not going to. So I don't know how it was at Parquet. If like,
there's like half maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Or more. I don't know.
60% masked, I'd say.
Yeah, more masked than not, but it's hard to enforce it. I mean, it's just the thing.
Yeah, don't believe me. It's hard to enforce it in my school that it's mandated.
Yeah.
You got teachers who are just like taking it off in class. They're told not, you got to put it back on. They still it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's like.
Now, the other show I went to was Guns N' Roses, but that was out at a stadium at MetLife Stadium a couple weeks ago. We were joking, like, this is the crowd that probably like is a lot of I love Guns N' Roses, but let's be honest, there's going to be a lot of anti-vax people, I think, in this show. And we wore a mask as we walked to our seat because that was really when you were, in the halls of the stadium. And then as we got out in our seat, I kind of wore it like I had it on, I took it off. Then you turn around, someone's a little closer than you think, and then you put it back on. But it was outside, so it was a good show. I mean, we saw them at the reunion 5 years ago. It was basically the same show. They played a new song, sort of a quasi new song. But, to hear those anthems live, to me, it's worth the price of admission.
It's a good summer show.
They're, those songs when you Sweet Child of Mine, Jungle,
classic, timeless.
Paradise City, it's like there's only 5 bands or so, there's only a handful of bands that have those mega songs or as iconic.
Or like Knocking on Heaven's Door.
/ Knocking on Heaven's Door. I mean, you can go on and on. So
classic cover.
It was cool. It was a good show. I'm glad I went.
I it's interesting you bring up the stuff about like, being outside and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I think, you know, after I'd played that wedding, I was like, all right, I feel better about, you know, being around people as long as they're vaccinated, even, you know, unmasked. Like even at the party we all were all at, and there was a lot of people and we were kind of tightly packed, you know, it was outside, but we were up in each other's grills and stuff like that, talking and laughing. And then, you know, when you see numbers go back up, it's like, oh, maybe we should take a step back. And it's just a, you know, it's a crazy mind game. And I'm trying to get out of my own head sometimes about it. But I'm seeing Dawes next Friday in Central Park. So
well, me and Steve are we're supposed to be going to OC's.
Yes.
In Brooklyn also in a few weeks. The Warsaw. Nice. So we've been really into the OC's. We're very pumped for that show. And that'll be a show, again, different than Neil Francis. Could be a little more like,
it's a bit more rowdy.
Chill, you know. OC's is like
super rowdy crowd.
This is like intense.
Yep. So, and they go effing nuts on stage.
Yes, they do.
So I mean, they are 120% energy all the time.
So we're excited for that. But
it'll be it'll be a good catharsis, but it'll be a test of the ways of concert going in pandemic.
I'm just super excited about getting back to going to see live music again. And
Same.
It's been way too long. Like I don't even know when what the last show I saw live was. I think it was Wilco.
Wow.
Wilco in 2019 at Radio City Music Hall, October 2019. So it'll almost be 2 years since I've seen live music that I haven't played in. So it's gonna be good. It'll be great. Yeah. But yeah, and you know, soccer season is upon us, right, Joe? You got a lot going on with your kids.
Yeah, soccer season definitely upon us. My son is a freshman. He just started school 2 days ago, and he's been practicing all summer with the high school team. And he actually made varsity. Varsity soccer. So
nice, congrats.
It's pretty cool. You know, we're a small school, but still, it's impressive. And he has his first game actually tomorrow. And we live really close to the school, so that's been nice. He's not doing club soccer at the moment, which was a little farther away. My daughter too's playing like for the town and stuff. So yeah, it's starting to get really busy. We had a busy day the other day. It was just, it quickly can get very stressful where, you know, you're working from home and then they're going to school. We still have to pick up our daughter from elementary school. Luckily, our son can just walk from the high school. But, you know, it takes one or two things to throw off your schedule or just, you know, realize you're just like, oh man, we're back in it. Now who's picking her up? Who's taking her home? Trying to squeeze in dinner, other things like the rain or something else can just like throw everything, you know, for a spiral. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to have a son now in high school. And, you know,
so
he's a full teenager.
Over all the time, Joe.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll see. Right now, he doesn't bring anybody, and boys or girl. He doesn't want any friends over. He says that we're like to embarrass him basically, and stuff. Because I talked about on the podcast that earlier in the summer we put in a basketball. We cemented a square in our backyard, bought the basketball hoop. He's out there all the time, but we always say you can bring your friends. He's like, nope, I want to be somewhere else. You know, with them. Yeah, so that's how he is right now. But yeah, there's been no girls yet. But that's looming. But he has hung out a little bit with the seniors on the soccer team. So the other day, a senior did pick him up and they went to the mall. And that senior, it was a couple of kids. And I think the one who drove is the one who's really into sneaker, you know, flipping and stuff. So he had all this cash. He was telling us the story. He's like, Dad, this kid had like, you know, $2,000 or something in cash. He gave us all money to stand in line. They had like a dozen pairs of brand new Jordans that he's flipping for like, you know, $70, $80 profit per pair. I mean, of course, I see it all too. He's showing me for all these years. I mean, I'm always up. I feel like I am always up on the trends of what's happening before they kind of become huge because kids know about it. He shows me about whether it's sneaker collecting, Pokemon collecting, baseball card, you know, collecting, the renaissance of all this stuff. So, so far so good with school. Obviously we have to, you know, wear masks and stuff and they never complain about it. They just do it. I've noticed with the kids.
I mean, the kids are very adaptable.
Yeah,
at
more
school,
than the adults.
My school year started. I've been back a couple of days, and the kids, I like, you know, tell them straight up, like, you have to have your mask on. Like, I'll bother you about it. I'm not going to yell at you. And some kids just, they don't like complain about it. Yeah, there'll be a couple that will, but most of them are just like, they just wear it. Like my son, my son is 3 years old. You know, he's definitely an exception to the rule for a toddler, but he just wears his mask like all the time. It's amazing. Like he has no problem usually wearing it. Like he'll pull it down to eat and he'll put it right back on. And
wow.
I'd be very fortunate with that because we send him to daycare with the mask on and he keeps it on. He's like one out of 2 kids who like in this whole class. But
Yeah.
but I you know, but Joe, I wonder, like, now that you have a high schooler, like, have you thought about how you're going to deal with like potential, like with parties and stuff when, you know, him bringing, like, I mean,
Well,
I would have no idea how to deal with it because I didn't party as a kid. Like I was one of those loser kids, you know, who sat at home or with their nerdy friends, like, and never had a beer until I was, you know, in college. So.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Really interesting.
Yeah. I was.
You're a goody two shoes.
No, this is what happened. And I swear to God, I have, you know, anxiety and stuff. The DARE officer at my school literally scared me enough that I didn't want to do anything.
Wow.
Like he scared me so much about so many things. And it just was like, all right, I'm just not going to do this. It also probably helped that my dad straight up lied to our faces about like how he stopped doing stuff in college when we found out years later that he smoked weed every day of his life.
Of course.
So like I was like, oh, I'm going to emulate my dad. I'm going to just not do this. Like this, you know, whatever. My dad sometimes would give me a beer and I would taste it. And I'm like, this tastes like garbage. Like, so I didn't even want to like drink. But also I was just like not a super popular kid. But I'm just like wondering how my brother was a different case. And like my parents definitely had issues.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were all drinking in high school.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same. Yeah.
definitely my sophomore year or something.
Having big backyard
junior
bonfire kind of parties and.
Yeah, you meet in the woods or like everyone does in suburbs.
Someone's basement.
Now it's a different world.
Partying in the basement.
Or they're not people's houses.
But are you going to have a conversation with your son about?
Yeah. He went to a party last week in town at a girl's house. Like, there's a party. All right. It was like Labor Day weekend. And we knew it. Actually, the kid whose father brought the shop vac, he was going with him. So we're like, all right, we know he's a good kid. You know, go with him. And then we picked him up, you know, when everyone was leaving around, it was like 11:30. It was at someone's house. So, and they were all like his age. But my wife mentioned to him, I think right before he left, she was like, I do not want to hear you, anything alcohol. He was like, Mom, no, nothing like that. It's like, he's still like a little innocent. And you know, I could see. And yeah, in freshman year, I was not even thinking that either. It's still like you're kind of still, middle school.
Yeah, it was probably sophomore year started, really.
Yeah, sophomore, even really almost junior for me. I know some kids obviously,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but
I think 8th or 9th grade, I tried whiskey and tried really
we have
crappy
like a year
beer
or two maybe. But
yeah.
I know we have to just talk to them, be very careful like my parents were to me. I mean, my mom was like, I know you're going to, try it. I expect you to be responsible and these things, we all do it and you just have to, but I had some stories. I mean, I overdid it at one party. I'll never forget junior year, like at a house party, I was pounding like vodka drinks.
Oh man.
And I came home. I was like completely wasted. I threw up in my bed.
Oy.
My mom woke up. I didn't even know I blacked out. And I threw up.
Oh.
I was like that. And I was shot for the whole weekend. I missed a baseball tournament and everything. So I had my moments and I was like such a good kid. I was not a troublemaker in any way.
Yeah. She
was probably shocked. I feel bad that I did that to that extent. So I hope he has more sense. And
yeah.
But now we have tracking on his phone. We know where he is. So I feel bad. And we had a lot more freedom, in our growing up.
Yeah.
And I said the whole notion of like a house party when the parents are gone is out the window. Mm-hmm. That's an antiquated event. Mm-hmm. Almost everyone's going to have some sort of camera. Mm-hmm. We don't actually have one right now, but we will definitely be getting one soon if we ever go away.
You gotta hide it. You gotta hide it so the kids
if anything happens to the camera right away, it's like, something's happening.
Something's going down. Yeah.
Yeah. Send someone over or something.
Take a look. Yeah, good point.
But man, it was so many house parties back in the day in the 90s.
Yep.
Parents are gone. Boom, 30 kids are over at this person's house. And now as we our homeowners, you imagine like having all these kids all over your house. I
I can't imagine.
This is friends is one thing. and they make a
People
mess.
that you don't
and
really
it's
know,
like,
right?
That's a pain in the ass too. But to have like a party
People just
in your
showing
own
up.
home, oh man.
Yep.
Now we know how our parents felt. And I had one party, a legendary party. My friends still bring up. Everyone brings up. My kids know it too. They've heard it.
Man.
Like, tell us the story again. I
Wow.
did it. I did that
Yeah,
party. I was my one blowout bash.
Nice.
But
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple of college, post-college, not like crazy parties, but I would always have people come up for like Memorial Day or my birthday because it's in the summer. But my graduation party for college was, we had like a keg and we had a lot of my friends and I got drunk. And then like the next morning I just wake up and there's like 15 people just strewn about the house, just passed out.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
person got locked out of the house, had to sleep in their car or something
man.
like that. You know, it's not like a crazy high school rager. These are all kids who have, you know, most of them were graduated college at this point, but
how do you think they would have handled if you weren't like the way you were?
I don't know. Like, I'm sure they would have handled it like they did with my brother, who they were probably like disappointed that he was, you know, would get into. He didn't really get into a lot of trouble. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
probably
Yeah, I wouldn't
knew
think he
that-
would.
Well, he definitely smoked weed at a younger age, and you know he got caught a couple times. But I think if I had done that, if I had been a partier, if I'd went from like what I was in high school of like being really, you know, goody two shoes and then started partying, I think two things would have happened. I think my dad would have probably been relieved. You know, just like, oh, good. Like, because when I was in college and I started drinking, like he then was like, oh, let me go get you something. We'll drink together and stuff like that.
Cool.
So he probably would have relieved. But also, if I had gone like way off to the other side, they probably
Yeah, I mean, not
had to,
way
like,
off,
sit down
but
and talk.
yeah,
right.
just-
No, but
Right.
I think part of
Normal.
me growing up and being such a good kid and being like, oh, I'm going to, you know, do everything right. Like, I think it would have been nice for my dad. My mom was not like, she, you know, go to parties. She's not a big drinker or anything like that. And I think for him, it would have been probably like, oh, good. Like my son is normal. Like, you know, not that I was not abnormal. I had friends, you know, I was playing music. I was hanging out with friends all the time. We'd go out, hang out. He would have talked to me and just been like, all right, you know, just be smart about it. I was going to bring up a couple other things that happened with David. We're at that stage right now. And Joe, you'll probably remember this with both your kids, where he's a toddler and he's gone from like really made a massive leap in his like ability to think and, you know, understand things. And like, he's responding with, no, thank you. No, I don't want to do that. Or like, that's not great. And, or, you know, he'll be like, oh yes, thank you so much. You know, like, oh my God, you're a real person now.
Yeah,
And it's
awesome.
It's like, it's a super fun time,
Yep.
but it's also like, you know, a very annoying time in that he stands his ground. I mean, just probably like every other toddler, just like when he doesn't want to do something, he just will not do it.
Yep.
And like goes from being like the greatest moment to like the worst moment. And his birthday,
Yeah.
for his birthday party, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of like bad feedback on this, but he had his birthday party at school and then he came back and my in-laws were intent on having a party together, which is fine. It was just a small, like my in-laws, my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, my wife's brother. We were going to have like just cake, presents, go to bed. My in-laws were insistent on having dinner. So we had to have dinner first. My son hadn't napped. He had ice cream and pizza already. So he was already jacked up. His birthday is super excited. And so like he had dinner. He wasn't really eating. He was just acting like a crazy person. So like, great. And then I had this stupid idea of doing presents first before cake. So we did presents and he just wanted to play with each present.
Sure.
And when we
Course,
told him he couldn't play with
course.
the third present, he just totally went off and like had a massive tantrum. Kat and I were just like, we're done. Like he's going to bed. I felt so bad, but it was almost.
Josh.
but I know.
I
Tell
know,
his
it's-
parents.
He's going to come after you when you're like, I
But-
can't believe.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember my third birthday.
True.
Like I don't remember. I barely remember.
I
Like,
know.
Like you know, and so
I'm kind of
and the party
playing, but
was-
you never know.
Yeah. No, you never know, and I feel bad. And like we wanted to have a birthday party for him
Right,
for
exactly.
for like
Especially because of the
forever.
pandemic, you know?
Yeah. And who is this for? Is it for me? Is it for him? Like it's almost like it's for the parents.
Oh
It
yeah.
is. Yeah.
We always
Or
had
the
two
grandparents.
parties. Each
Yeah.
birthday it was crazy. We used to have two parties. We kind of still do, but when they were little, they were bigger. We would have, because both my family and my wife's side are pretty big,
Yeah.
just big enough where if you have it together, no one
too
has
big.
a house that big. We don't. You know, no one has that like humongous house. So we'd have to have 2 parties. They were always fun, but it was a lot of work. Yeah, you feel guilty because the other family members, you know, we had a party for everybody growing up. I was always at my cousin's party. Everyone had a party. No one missed it. Almost. I feel like we're all in the same town.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, I have to invite aunt so-and-so and cousin so. I mean, it can't not. So then it ends up being everybody. Just is what it is, you know.
Next year will be the year. Like it's like, and then hopefully, he'll have some more friends. We'll actually like have a friends party for him and just kind of keep it like maybe
just wait till you go to those places. Eventually we did that too. We went to like the
party.
What was it called? Like like jumping places.
Oh yeah. Well, we wanted to have it at Gymboree last year.
Yeah.
The idea last year was to have it at Gymboree because we had like a membership there, and we'll be like, you can only have a certain amount of kids. We'll invite the kids. That's the party. Great. We don't have to invite all these extended people.
Exactly.
It's a contained
we would
space.
have that and the other friggin' parties because then we felt guilty. Like it was like 3 parties.
For me, it's like
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you've gone through this, and for me, it's like I grew up with such a small family. We'd have like a family party because my one of my cousins, my older cousins, had a birthday in July, so we just invite my dad's side of the family and my mom's parents over, and that's all it would be. Mm-hmm. It would be like maybe 25, 30 people.
Yeah.
And that's all what I grew up with. Yeah. With my wife, it's like her like second cousins and pseudo cousins and like
everybody.
People, it's just like 50 to 70 people for like
no, that's crazy.
And it's like
not that much,
Or I mean, it's just I don't know. But so maybe I'm the worst father of the year, but at least tonight I made my son laugh like crazy, so that I think made up for it. Parenthood, man, it's a journey, and it's Joe. I don't know if I'm getting into the good times or the bad times or what's going on.
It's both.
With a roller coaster.
Roller coaster. As I say, just brace yourself because once he starts talking more, that's when it really gets to be, a trip. And that's when
he realizes how he can talk back to you and win an argument.
Big time, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about what we've been listening to. I know there's been a lot of new music that's been coming out lately.
Tons.
Who wants to talk first?
Steve, go ahead.
All right, I'll do it.
Start it off.
All right, you've mentioned, the releases have been fast and furious. I think it's a combination of musicians that were writing because they either were going to write a couple songs on tour and then obviously had a lot of time in their hands, and also just regular releases. The band Low, and the album is called Hey What. And I actually had heard of them years back. I think they were in year-end lists, and like Aquarium Drunkard and a few other blogs had kind of shouted them out. But I didn't give them a listen. And then I saw Steve Hyden's tweet that like the album that's kind of really lit him afire this year that might be up for his, album of the year is this album. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I got to keep an ear out. And I listened to the first single when I saw that tweet. And then Pitchfork's review came out that got an 8.4. And this song is called More. I guess I'm characterizing this whole album as experimental indie rock, but I listened to the album front to back, and I definitely think it definitely the first listen has blew me away. So very excited.
I've always heard of them, but I don't think I've actually heard their music that I can remember. But I've seen their name mentioned a lot, like you said in these blogs.
Yeah, I got to give it another listen. It's one of those albums that you can't just you're going to absorb over time. So we'll see if that sticks. The next song is this woman I kind of discovered through the algorithm of Spotify. Basically, I was listening to Big Brave through a friend's Twitter recommendation. It's like a heavy metal, heavy rock band with this like woman's intense voice. And then Emma Ruth Rundle was recommended alongside of them. And I was just blown away. She kind of has this like Tori Amos meets Tash Sultana vibe, but heavy. You know what I mean? Like has this like very intense emotions. And she almost has some songs where she just looks like Shirley Manson from Garbage. You know what I mean? Like that intensity and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And this is a change of pace for her. It's her and a piano. And the song is called Return.
All things lost in their own time. Where have you gone to? Where have you gone to? Return to me.
But yeah, she's just like this enigmatic girl. She's got a lot of intensity. And in this song, like, I don't know, it just, like the thing about Tori Amos for me is I respect her music and there's some albums and songs of hers that I really love, but she gets a little bit just too fantasy for me, a little too, you know what I mean? Like just, whereas I think Emma Ruth Rundle, the way she's adding that darkness to it, she's adding rock to it. You know what I mean? Like she really feels like she infuses all of her music with rock, but through a female perspective.
Do you think it's anything like a, earlier Fiona Apple type stuff? Or
You could say, yeah, like even like a more metal Fiona Apple, or not even quite metal, heavy rock Fiona Apple, definitely. This song is completely, like almost a ballad, just like a beautiful, like piano, wistful kind of ballad. And then the third song is just like, Joe and I are banging the OC's drum a lot. I, at a record store in Brooklyn, saw Live in San Francisco, and I was trying to pick it up from Tunes, and I like let it out of the cart or something stupid. So I was like, all right, it's here. It's time to get it. It came in with a DVD too that I haven't seen. Yeah, cool. Just get it. And like from the first song of this album, I Come From the Mountain, it's like, it just goes nuts in a fury and like doesn't let up, right? Like it's from note one.
I still have to hear this album. I know you told me you got it. I listened to the beginning of it. And yeah, I Come From the Mountain, like is their like, that's like their theme song. Mm-hmm. I kind of hope they open with that as well. Like when we see them. But yeah, like as you said, me and you have been like really diving into the OCs.
Yep.
I think other people too. I mean, they have something going on that's lately. It's just like really awesome.
But the song really I want to highlight, even though that I Come From the Mountain is amazing, is the song Sticky Hulks. And it's from 2015's Mutilator Defeated at Last, which, as Joe was saying, I don't know that album, but it must be a great album because that song is just mind-blowing. So, but good stuff.
Sometimes it's not like, I remember, when you listen to some live albums, they pick the best songs from the albums.
Yes.
Usually.
Yeah. Yep.
And I remember, I've been disappointed sometimes. It's like the one song from this album that they put live and like, oh, this album must be, and it's like the only song on the album that's good.
Yep.
And like the rest is
that's
just
true.
Like, well.
Yep.
But I'm sure, if it's a similar sound, you guys will probably
it'll be interesting to see. And that's the thing too, is like I do that now, is I will go through their discography like piece by piece, and I'm gonna do that with Ty Segall and others too. It's just, you just go, oh, I haven't heard this 2015 album, go for it, so.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
Joe, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go next. I was also going to mention earlier in the episode that I did my first WFMU show. I was very excited.
Congrats,
awesome.
sir.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone out there. It was on the Rock and Soul digital stream, and I've been listening to that stream a lot.
Yep.
Over the last few months, and some of the DJs on there are just fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, it's like going
taking notes.
Like, I'm taking notes the entire time. I'm like in class, like listening to the WFMU app.
Yep.
And it's all, obscure or a little obscure stuff. And I'm just constantly like, I need to find this. I got to find this compilation. What is this? So I've been definitely, and a lot of the shows have a very 60s psych rock type vibe. So I've been kind of dipping my toe a little bit more into that. And one of the bands I wanted to talk about was the Moving Sidewalks.
Yes.
And
nice.
So I mean, I knew like of
Billy
them.
Gibbons, right?
So Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. This
Nice.
was the band he was in down in Texas before ZZ Top. They were very like influenced by the 13th Floor Elevators and
Perfect.
Rocky Erickson and that whole kind of psych scene.
Cool.
And they have a classic psych garage song called 99th Floor.
So come on, baby, let's do it some more. Said we won't stop till we get to the 99th floor.
And I played that on my radio show recently, and I want to kind of listen to more of their stuff. But that's kind of the vibe of a lot of things I've been trying to learn more about, kind of the 60s, not as popular bands. But that song's great.
And just to cut in a little bit, just to bring back WFMU, I guess we should also announce that our last guest, Dwayne Harriet, just concluded his Dwayne Train show literally 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it was a great show.
Amazing
for
show.
The final. I know he's going to be getting a lot of outpouring and
got a lot of love and a lot of tributes
So
and
it kind of sucks that we did our show
Swan
right
song
At the end.
right at the end, but he was a great interview. So sorry to derail, but
No,
just wanted
definitely.
to point that out to people.
FMU, like Dwayne, too. I mean, it's different style of music, but
Yep.
some of them have such deep knowledge of music that
Yeah.
I try to put a show together every week, and I'm like, I don't know how these people do it. Like 2-hour shows, even 1 hour show of, obscure music.
Yep.
It's easy to do like, more popular music. But anyway, another song I wanted to talk about is, we have to talk about the passing of Charlie Watts.
Yes.
who,
Massive.
Everybody was doing their Rolling Stones tributes and Charlie Watts tributes. They just released a song from there's a new Tattoo You album just turned 40, and they're releasing. I don't think it's out just yet, but they're going to release multiple deluxe versions on vinyl and CD and digital. And there's a couple of B-sides that were never heard before, and one of them that just leaked is called "Living in the Heart of Love." I just think it's a really cool song.
It's really good.
It's from those sessions. I'm not exactly sure when it was recorded, probably in the late 70s. I know Tattoo You was like compilation almost of like older recordings that they just kind of jumbled together, and somehow in a Rolling Stones way, it just happens to work and become a huge hit. So that's a really cool song. And
really
my
good,
third pick is a new song. It's from a woman named Amy Darling. And she's down in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been playing a lot of her. Her first single was Nasty Habits. I played a lot on my show.
Yep.
And she has a new song she just self-released called Lip Service.
Stay with me now, or you might miss a beat. Everybody's talking, nobody's walking, but you will suck it. Lip service, come on.
very cool. Speaking of the Stones, it has both of her singles have a very Stones, kind of late 70s Stones vibe.
Cool.
Some Girls,
Very cool.
you know, it has the horns and everything. And she's really cool. She also DJs down there. And she's very active on Instagram. She performs down in Nashville at a lot of various rock shows and stuff like that. So
High
I'm
energy
hoping
girl.
one day she'll come up. Yeah, definitely high energy. She's got a cool, look on stage and all dressed up. But yeah, check out her songs. This new one is, like I said, Lip Service. And Josh, you are next.
Yeah. So I had totally forgotten I had ordered this album, and it came in the mail the other day. It's the new live album from My Morning Jacket, simply called Live 2015. I had mentioned earlier in the show that I was kind of bummed that I'm gonna miss the this weekend shows in Queens, and this got me all jazzed up. I put the album on. And this was actually 2015 is the last time I saw them. I saw them twice in 2015. Both shows were awesome. I don't have recordings of either show. One was at the Exponential Festival down in Camden. St. Vincent opened that show. It was a great
Amazing.
show. I just went back and looked at the set list. I'm like, wow, yeah, this is an awesome show. And then I saw them on their Thanksgiving run at the Beacon Theater, where they wouldn't allow any taping. No taping, because the idea was they're going to put out a live album from these 4 shows.
Okay.
And they never did. Like, we were just waiting and waiting.
Wow.
And it never happened. So they finally put out this compilation of live material. It sounds amazing. The mixing and the mastering sounds great. And one of the songs that I loved when it was on album, but it sounds awesome, is Evil Urges. It's just a super, I feel like that whole album kind of gets lost. The post-Z stuff gets lost. If you listen to Evil Urges and you throw it on, it's such a great opening track, and it just kills live. Highly recommend. As Adam Shanker said, My Morning Jacket is probably one of the top live bands around now. And then the next song I want to highlight is a band that I kind of just discovered, but if I was listening to Joe's shows more regularly, I probably would have heard about, earlier. It's the band The Beths out of New Zealand. I must have heard them on like FMU, maybe WFUV, but probably FMU. I remember, I should check out this band again. And I listened to their album, their most recent album called Jump Rope Gazers. And I was just like, this sounds like 90s like power pop. And I immediately fell in love with it. Like the last Bandcamp Friday, bought the album on vinyl. Hopefully it'll get here soon. Have to go back to their first album and listen. And it's great. Like it's
Cool.
it's super fun. And the song Dying to Believe is what I want to highlight today.
It's a great song.
It's such a great song. And I think they put out a live album just recently. They
Okay.
did a live show last year in Auckland, because in New Zealand, COVID doesn't exist anymore. If you love that 90s power pop.
Yeah, like alt rock.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really cool. And then the last song, which I think all three of us have been pimping and promoting, our boy Neil Francis's most recent single, Can't Stop the Rain.
Yep.
Which is great. It's just definitely a departure from his 70s New Orleans funk soul sound from Changes. As he said on this podcast, it's going to be a different sound. This is definitely more in the vein of like more straight ahead rock, Elton John style, like pounding piano. Derek Trucks plays slide guitar on there, which is an amazing get for him. Like to have that guy play slide guitar in your song that's a statement in itself, saying this is a great song. Thanks for listening to the show today. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe to the podcast and tell your fellow music-loving dads or moms or anyone to check it out. And by subscribing, you're going to know when we have a new episode coming out. And like we said at the top of the show, we do have our interview with Steven Hyden coming out very soon. So if you subscribe, you'll be one of the first to know about it. And if you like or even love the podcast, we'd love for you to rate us and review us. It really helps us in those algorithms on the podcasting platforms. If you haven't already, you can check us out on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter, both at Dad Rocks Pod. And you can also find us on Facebook by looking us up at Dad Rocks ! If you have any questions, comments, or any show ideas for us, or just want to give us a shout, you can always email us at dadrockspod@gmail.com. Also, we have a Spotify playlist of all of the music you have heard on the podcast today, which should be linked in the podcast description. Thanks again for listening, and remember, dads, you rock.